Right, morning guys. It's really early on a Saturday morning. It's about 7 o'clock. We've come to a very special place to see a very good friend of mine and one of his projects that we're going to be painting over the next bit of time. You've probably seen this car floating about on social media. It looks amazing when you first look at it, but when you get close to it, the paintwork, you know, it's got all those typical problems going on. So we're going to be stripping it back to bare metal, just the outside, and then we're just going to get it painted. We're colour changing it as well, because the colour's not right with the car. But anyway, so this is Russell we're with this morning. Got him out of bed so we can come and collect his car. I'll just give you a quick walk around the car and tell you what's going on with it. So it's got lots of micro blisters and stuff. It's very difficult to see, and most of this comes from the reason that it's probably not got any epoxy on the bare metal, and the filler work's just been done on the steel. And this, what happens, you get moisture ingress into the filler and it just starts bubbling up like this. You can see it all the way along there. You know, when we strip the paint off of this, we'll show you some of this, and I'm pretty sure you'll see all this is filler that's just sitting on the metalwork, and that's why we always, you know, harp on about epoxy primers. So sorry Russell, it's going to Sebring red, isn't it?
Well, I'd say, yeah, that's
yeah,
just got to pick out the right shade. That's the only thing we've got to do.
Yeah, well, we
can ask you to do a couple of samples of that.
Yeah, of course, we can go through that at the workshop. Okay. But yeah, so underneath's really good on this car. Inside's nice. Inside,
yeah,
all that. You can see under there. It looks really good. So we're going to get it on a rollover jig when we get back to the workshop. Get the paint off of it. We've got some new doors going on it. So we've just got to see what they fit like. Probably not that well, so we'll probably have to play with them a bit. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we're going to get the trolley on it, just sitting outside there on the floor. Going to get it on the trailer and get it away. Duncan, you're not getting out of this. He's been very quiet this morning. Normally he's dancing about and everything on camera. So, right, there you go. We'll catch up with you a bit later.
Pretty good.
See you later. Morning everyone. It's Tuesday today. You've just seen the clip of video where we went to pick up Russell Lord's Escort. I'm going to show you around that in a minute. I'll just give you a quick walk around the workshop as ever, just show you what's going on at the moment. So let's go out into the workshop. We'll just go through here at the moment. So Duncan's mixing up some activated base coat just in black, matte black. We're painting this Land Rover bonnet. The whole car is Santorini black, and over the last few months we've painted it in kit form, to be honest. So we've still got the bonnet inside and out to do. We've done all the other panels. So Duncan's just going to get some activated base coat on the back of this, just in a matte black. Dry that off, we'll turn it over and paint the outside. Let's just pop out here a minute. Raining out there today, bit of a grotty day. So Dave is working on the bonnet from the TVR Tuscan. So we've stripped it right back to the bare glass fibre, as you can see. You can see all these cracks going on around these vents. These have got to come out because they'll all be refreshed, or new ones. So it's got extensive cracking in here. Not so much this, but you can see here where we've ground all the cracks out. And then we will just fill these up with glass fibre resin. So we've done that. But where there's multiple cracks like in here, so as you can see, we've took this right out of a little grinder. There's about a 2mm edge there. And then we will lay fresh matting in there, resin, set that all up, get it all sanded off. then obviously go to our NOVOL for classic car epoxy. So it's a bit of a laborious process, but it's just one that we've got to deal with. You can see here, look, we've gone right through it there. So we'll lay some glass fibre up in the back of that, and all these, we'll lay the fibre, cut the mat into this shape, and glass fibre, all that back together. You can see where we've ground out all these cracks, and now we just fill them with glass fibre resin. So that's coming along. Dave's doing a dusty, horrible, itchy job there. So a little try at Herald. We've repaired the bits of damage down the side. We've got the door in there. It's going to need some filler work. It's new old stock, but it's been laying about for a long time. It's over here. There's the door. I've had to just grind some of the edges up and add a bit of material to them to get the door to fit in the hole. So we'll get that prepped up in this way. Paul's just been carrying on with the Audi, so got all this inner wing pretty much repaired and back together. You know, loads of little bits all over this car, around the screen aperture. Every time we go and do a bit, we find another bit. So we took the rear screen out, and you can see this is pretty rusty all around the hinges. So we're going to have to rebuild all that, which is a little bit of a intricate, tricky sort of job, but I'm sure we'll get that done. So under here, it's funny on this, there's sort of like a cavity here that doesn't go anywhere. This is just a bit of surface rust in there, so we're not too worried about that. We've got all this cut out back to nice fresh metal, and Paul started rebuilding that area. We've done it all down the bottom side. This here, look, we've replaced this, the arch round here, all this front jacking point, we've rebuilt this, and this chassis leg. We are going to be cleaning some of this back, but only, you know, round where we've done our repairs. So that's coming along. We've decided to give my own van a coat of paint because it's just starting to look a bit tatty. So we sort of just started on that yesterday afternoon. We're going to be painting this, yeah, just the whole thing. We're going to be putting some of our NOVOL for classic car premium flow clear coat on it once we've done all the repairs. It's had a dodgy old bit of paint at some time, so we sort of just take that back, all primer that up, a couple of little dents here and there. So we're actually going to be putting a Tesla colour on it, so it's still going to be silver, but it's just got quite a heavy grain going on, so you know, when the sunlight hits it, it'll just look a little bit special. So hopefully get that painted quite soon. You know, we're not going mad with it, but we still want it to look tidy. We're going to repaint the wheels as well because they've all got a bit knocked about. The Bedford van, obviously ongoing. We just started doing a bit of filler work around this side, just where we've got to flush all these bits out. A few dents here and there. There's all the panels in there for it. So yeah, that's coming along okay. Right, let's show you around Russell Lord's Escort. So we've got the bonnet and boot strip back. They're pretty good. Had some little dents in and bits, but nothing we can't deal with. Bonnet all stripped as well. So they're ready to go into our NOVOL classic car epoxy primer. So back to the car. You know, everyone said, oh, it looks amazing, you know, and it does look fairly good, and the paint is quite nice on it. It's just what's going on under the paint. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see all these spots. We haven't started sanding it back yet, but I pretty much guarantee that is going to be, you know, moisture trapped in the primer. It's not in the paint because, you know, micro blisters would be all over it if it had micro blisters, which is normally moisture trapped in the primer layer or in the paint when it's getting painted, generally down to bad air quality, you know, from your compressor. So basically we'll sand this back, and I bet we'll find that there's just primer on the bare steel. A lot of 2-pack primers, you know, can't go direct to metal. That's why we always use lots of epoxy, because it'll go to direct metal and it's water resistant, waterproof I should say, and it stops all these kinds of things going on. So I should imagine that's filler under there, or primer that's just on bare metal. So you can see it really bad up this wing, and if you can see it on the camera. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a bit of masking, because we're not going to be stripping the bay or the inside. We're only going to be stripping the outside of this, and actually the colour's wrong. We will be painting inside and underneath, but at the moment this is a bit more like a sunset red, and we're going to be doing it in Sebring. So underneath's really nice, in there's really nice, just the wrong colour for what Russell and his wife want. So yeah, we're going to set about, probably the best way, we'll just get most of this off with paint stripper. So we're going to do a bit of masking and we'll show you the process. Morning. So we had a really good day on the Escort yesterday. As you can see, we've got this stripped back to bare metal, quarter panel stripped back, and we started stripping the other front wing. It's pretty much there. We took some video yesterday of what was going on under the paint with this, and like a bit of an idiot, I had the camera set up in stop motion. So I can run that now, but basically I'll explain. You can see on the stop motion video that there was filler and primer all sitting on the bare metal, and that's where you get the corrosion from, because the moisture just gets sucked in by the body filler and then just sits against the bare metal and rusts and makes the filler bubble up off the panel. So we'll run that now, and you can see that. But we're going to start stripping this quarter panel today, and the roof. It did have some stuff going on here. You can see just round the edge of this where the filler's stuck to the bare metal, and there's definitely some adhesion problems, because you can see that the way the filler, if you make that out, it's just not keyed, or it's just not stuck very well to the bare metal. You can see all these little dots. That's just where it's starting to rust and blister underneath. But we'll set the camera up and get some paint stripper on there. So just going to give you a close-up of this. So as you can see, it had one coat of red on it, underneath there this second coat, but there's a lot of filler just been put on the first original layer, and if you actually pick this off, it's just been put straight on top of the original layer of paint. And if you can look at that, it ain't the surface of that red layer hasn't even been keyed up, so the filler, you can see, it's just not stuck properly to the edge. See, I can just peel it off. It's just there, it's just peeling off. Look. So just a lot of bad processes going on. Outside to do some more stripping on the Escort. This makes a real mess. It's a real great way of getting the paint off the car. Some of these stubborn bits that won't come off with a paint stripper. So basically we use a polisher just with an 80 grit disc on the Velcro backing, and it really is safe and really effective. Look, I'll show you some of it coming off. See, it's really quick, and because the backing pad on this is so soft, it just lets it go to the contours of the body. Afternoon, you join us in the oven on this Friday. So we've got the Audi Quattro in here. We've finished all the welding, so we're about to put this into some NOVOL for classic car epoxy primer. We're not going to tackle the engine bay yet, because we're going to have that as a bit of a separate entity. There's a lot of time and prep in there to get that ready to put the primer on. But we just want to get the outside all sealed up, just to stop it from flash rusting. So, you know, it's a really straight car, this. I don't know if you've seen some of our previous videos. We've already got all the other bits in primer, well, into our NOVOL for classic car epoxy. So, yeah, Duncan's going to come in here and get some on that in a minute. This is the bonnet off of my own personal van that we're just going to put some primer on it as well. It was just full of stone chips, so we've just decided it'd be easier to completely strip all the paint off of it. So let's go outside, and I'm going to just show you the Escort. Right, so we've got most of the paint stripped off it now. The engine bay we're not stripping. We've got bits and pieces on the outside just to get stripped off around the door shuts and gutters and bits. But it's coming along quite nice. These are new doors that turned up for it. So the driver's side door, we couldn't even get this to go in the hole when we put the hinge pins in it. So it's fitting pretty good now. When we stripped it off, there was just a ton of filler down here that you can see. And I don't know why really, because when this door goes on, it fits pretty well. And then all that filler, I'm really not quite sure why someone's put all that in it. So we're going to take all that off. But I'll show you how we get our door. Because you can't adjust these doors, there's no adjustment on them, because they've got this fixed hinge arrangement. So what we do is we cut the hinges off here and here. We get the door where we want it to be, and then we weld the hinges back on. The only problem with this, when the wing's on, it's really difficult to get in there to do that. Normally the wing's off and we can attack it from this side, but obviously in this instance we just had to make a load of measurements and then weld them back on. So obviously when the door comes off we can clean all this up. That's what generally I've done with every one of these Escorts to put doors on, because they just don't fit. I'll just show you. Basically we've cut this top hinge off this side because this door goes nowhere near this aperture. So we've got this 8mm rod that we drop through there just to keep everything square, and then we'll just, we've got our measurements from where the hinges have to go, and we'll just weld them back on. We just tack them on first, get the door in the hole, just make sure it all fits nice, and then weld them up fully. It's just a bit of a long-winded process, but it's the only way to really get the doors on there properly. Right, so that's the Escort. The little Herald, basically, that's ready to paint. We'll probably be painting that Monday. So that's the door that we got. We've got the side, just getting the side prepped up. So that should be painted the start of next week. This is my van we're just getting on with. We're still stripping it down. We're just sort of doing it in between things so it don't inconvenience too much of what's going on. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Please give us a thumbs up and a like. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon.